is 4 p.m. East, and you know what that sound is. It's today's closing bell from the New York Stock Exchange. The Dow Jones ended the day in the green, up more than 70 points. The S&P 500, NASDAQ also stayed, well, relatively flat. Ann Berry joins us now with more. She's the founder of Threadneedle Strategies. And what was driving the markets today?
Well, as you said earlier, the market was essentially flat, a little bit in the green. And I think that's because last week you saw a particularly negative sentiment. I don't think sentiment now is much more positive off the back of any new news. So really, I think we're seeing a continuation of the theme that the markets are finally listening to the fact that the Fed is going to continue raising rates.
Well, what did happen in the global arena is the United Kingdom and the EU have finally reached an agreement on new trade rules in Northern Ireland following Brexit. We know that was a controversial, important point. Let's first listen to what UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said about the deal, and we'll come back to you.
Today's agreement delivers smooth-flowing trade within the whole of the United Kingdom, protects Northern Ireland's place in our union, and safeguards sovereignty for the people of Northern Ireland.
All right, what is new, and what do we know about this new agreement?
Well, what was previously controversial was the fact that, first of all, Northern Ireland did not want to participate in Brexit. In fact, Northern Ireland voted 56% against Brexit versus 44% that was in favour of it. And so the whole idea that the UK was going to leave the EU in the first place was hugely controversial for Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland share a land border. And so the first piece that was controversial was the idea or the risk that the departure of Britain from the EU would lead to a border being reinstated between the two nations. That was circumvented. The last piece left was the idea that a border was still reinstated, and that was along the Irish Sea, which basically split the rest of Britain from Northern Ireland. And what meant was that goods were being checked at ports in the event that goods on those ships were being determined to be at risk of crossing over the Northern Irish border into Ireland, again making Northern Ireland feel as though it's being treated differently from England, Scotland and Wales. So it's complicated and it's long, but the history here is complicated, it's important, and finally getting this remediated was very important to Britain and to Northern Ireland.
Well, that is why it was necessary. Now, tell us, of course, our audience here in the U.S. is wondering, how will this impact the U.S., if at all?
Well, it's important in the sense that the US does have a very close trading relationship with both the United Kingdom, which is no longer obviously part of the EU, and with the European Union, of which the Republic of Ireland is a part. You've got to remember, if you go back in history, the relationship between the US historically, culturally, presidents who've seen great personal ties, both to Great Britain and to the Republic of Ireland. The US was a very important participant in making sure that peace was brokered in the Good Friday Agreement between Northern Ireland and Ireland. That peace has perceived to be at risk, and so the US has a vested interest in making sure it continues.
All right, Ann Berry, thank you so much for joining us and for all of your insight. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.